What's up, guys? So I'm gonna make this video really quick, hopefully. Um, I just felt called to redo my top-down analysis on how I look at the chart and prepare for the day to run. Doing a top-down analysis before New York AM session opens at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. It's currently 3:35 on a Friday. Sorry if you hear my laundry going off in the background. So the futures market is still opened, but I wanted to go ahead and see what the market did. I usually do not trade on Fridays, so I want to see what it does. And at 5, I'm gonna check it again and see how the market closed. That way I could be prepared for Asian session on Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I haven't looked at the charts all day. I'm going to look at MNQ, MGC, and I'm also paper trading, mental trading, platinum. And your girl, why am I so orange? Hold on. Your girl has been loving platinum. That is ridiculous. I mean, that's better, but it's not as bright. Okay. And then I don't want too light color. It looks like I have on a filter. Okay, we gonna deal with this right now. Share screen. Let's get started. So it wasn't the over the shoulder. We're gonna try that and see what happens. Share. Okay, so first thing in the rising in the AM, I usually check the charts around 7 a.m. or 8 a.m., just depending on when I'm done with my routine when I wake up. So I go to the chart, MNQ, perfect. I start off at daily. I always start off at daily. And I like to see where the market is at as far as did we close or are we bullish or bearish? So this morning I seen that Thursday and earlier today, because I do trade Asian session, which is, like I said, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but in Asia, it's 9 o'clock over there. So this candle is already forming, even Thursday night. The Friday candle is already forming. So I'm seeing that it looks like we're closing bullish for the next, what is this, hour and 21 minutes so far. So that's all I take note of that. On Friday, on then I dropped down to my 4-hour time frame. My 4-hour time frame is when I look for our trend. I look to see if we're trending bullish, if we're trending bearish, or are we in a range. So I've noticed that we have resistance right here. Why did I mark this as resistance? Because price comes around this range and stops. It doesn't go up further. So I like to take my mark or whatever, and I do around average. So boom, I'm gonna say right here because we have candle closing above there, candle there. I don't care about the wicks as much, but I know as we come back up here, I can mentally note, okay, we either gonna bounce back down or we're gonna shoot through this and continue our bullish trend. All right. And then also too to notate that we are in a range because yeah, I see bearish, bullish, but then here chop, 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 chop down. It's nothing going on. Down, up, down. It's not a clean trend, you know. The trend is your friend until it breaks. Shout out to her trading journal. um a clean trend to me personally is when you keep having consistent breaks of structures in the same trend, in the same way. Anyways, then I find a support. I chose this area as support because price quadrupled 5, 6 times, tapped here, didn't want to go below this area. So I could mark it here. And this is where we are on our 4-hour time frame. Okay. I'll get to this as we go down because these are my lower time frame, my inner support and resistance area because we was in a range last night for MNQ. So I'm done with my 4-hour. 1 hour. 1 hour, that's when I see what are we doing within our 4-hour and our daily. The kids are home from school. I hope they had a good day. Focus. Sorry. So what time is this? So when I woke up today, I got on the chart here. I did my daily 4-hour, 1 hour. I went ahead and marked up an inner support and resistance because let's pretend that this wasn't here. These candles weren't here yet. As you can see, after we hit this support, we climb back up and we hit a resistance. Price double tapped here. It didn't want to go past that. Shut down, came back up, shut down, came back up to that same line where these candles are, shut back down. So during this time, I was like, okay, here's my resistance. So I'm waiting for price to either break through here or on the flip side, break through the support. So after these candles, I noticed, okay, price stopped here. Once it resisted there, it bounced off of this. Then it bounced off of that. So I was like, okay, so this is my support. So that's why you can see I have marked these dashes. This is my alert. So I can step away from the computer. But I had set an alert that support broke. If price was to break, I would be alerted that support was broken. So I'm going to delete that now. And as you can see, I also had a resistance broke right around here. And that triggered around this time. But I wasn't there yet. Okay, so my 1 hour, that's when I'm looking for the trend. My 1 hour, I'm specifically looking, like earlier on the days, I was seeing, okay, we are on a bearish trend to support. Because as you can see, we made a new low, but then boom. Okay, so during this time earlier, we was in this chop chop support and resistance range. Cool. 30 minutes. 30 minutes is the same as 1 hour, just 2 more candles added. I really don't do too much on the 30 minutes. 15 minutes is where I mark my supply and demand zones. That's when I start. I mark an hour, 1 hour supply and demand zone as well. They hold really strong, but that's for swing traders. But I still do mark it. When your 5 or 15 minute can equal up to your 1 hour time frame, that's how you know it is a powerful zone. And that is your A plus setup for entering into the market. But that's another story for another day. Because I am thinking about starting recording these live. Like as the day, as I'm sitting here trading during New York open session or even prior, I am debating on recording these live so you guys can see live action of my losses, of my wins, of my strategies, why I'm taking it. But anywho, I was trying to see, was there a good example? Like on this 1 hour, you see your breakup structure from the swing high here. You go to your recent demand zone. Where's my favorites? I forgot some on the computer. Recent demand zone. 1 hour demand. And as you can see, we hit that resistance. Price bounced off that 1 hour demand zone. And I think I said this on my last video, but JFX that I watched his YouTube videos on, it's JEAFX. He's on YouTube. He marked his supply and demand zones at, he doesn't care about the candle color. And that is true. And I noticed some people that trade supply and demand, they actually have their candles the same exact color because they don't care how it closes. They only want to focus on price action. And I respect them from that. But me, I'm going to keep my white and pink. Or if I want to switch it up sometimes, because I do. I just make note, like, what candle created the impulse? So after this breakup structure, what demand candle created the impulse for price to push past the swing zone? I mean, yeah, this swing high, which is a bullish candle. That's fine because as you can clearly see, after a while, price tapped into it. It didn't pass to liquidate any of these buyers here and shot up. So let's say you entered aggressive. I would have my stop loss right below that demand zone. And if you was going for a 1-to-1, you would have made that. If you want to go to a 1-to-2, you would have made that. And even if you wanted to hit that resistance to try your luck, I mean, it's pushing it, but price never invalidated the zone at all, and it officially hits here. So if you entered Thursday at 10 a.m. for swing traders, it took a whole 24 hours. Friday 10 a.m. price hit there if you wanted to do support and resistance. But that's the thing. That's why I don't take trades on the 1 hour because you have to wait. We're day traders over here. Well, I am at least. But this supply and demand works on all time frames. So, okay, back to my 15-minute. So I already had these marked up from earlier today. And as you can see, price blew through it, but I don't trade Fridays. So I always just like to mark up just to see what price would have done. So I could delete that, but that is a supply zone, but I don't really like taking supply unless we are in a bearish trend consistently because you know what, price wants to go through the zone. I like demand zones. And also what I trade, they're a bullish market. So of course I'm always expecting price to go up, right? Anyways, yeah, this is around 9:30. Yeah, I had marked a 15-minute supply zone, and I actually did want to take this because this was good. I wanted to take this earlier today so bad. I'm like, you do not trade Fridays. You do not trade Fridays. But as you can see, I already had marked up a trade, a 1-to-1 trade. When I see price go through, I was like, oh, okay, it's fine. I mentally won. That's a win. I didn't lose money, and I mentally got a gain. I'm practicing still, so this is working. This is fine. Yeah, let me delete that though. And so you can see why I have marked that as a 15-minute demand zone, because price broke structure here, your recent zone, which is the impulse zone. So I like to add 2 candles. So I add that and that. 15 minutes. And then I execute on either the 1 minute or the 5 minute. So I also like to double check how the 5 minute is doing, because of course I want them to line up. So that's why I had the 5 minute there. And price respected both. You would have had a better entry at the 5 minute, because this is my 15, right? But if I wanted to enter aggressive, I would have had some drawback and then price went up. But if you waited for the 5 minute, which is the purple one, you would have entered a little lower and had a lesser amount of drawdown, and then we bull up. And also too, your stop loss wouldn't be as greater. Your risk wouldn't be as much long. Because if I entered here, I would have put my stop there. That's a 34-point zone, which if you're only doing one contract, you multiply that by 2 for MNQ, that is a $68 risk, which isn't bad, but of course you will want 26, 5, 7, $57. $57 is better than 68, if you ask me. But yeah. So that's how I do my top-down analysis from daily, 4 hour, 1 hour, 30, 15, 5. And I'm not going to show you the minute, because the minute's the same thing as a 5. It's just when I wanted to snipe. When I want to do a snipe 1 minute trade, that's what I do. Okay, so now I'm going to focus on today. So we broke through this resistance. I go ahead and delete that. So my daily, we're still in this range on my daily. Delete that. Oops. And I have my liquidity right here, because I want to know, like, I know that there are buy stops sitting right above there. That's money above this line. So overall, we're still in this range. We're just going up. 1 hour, we broke resistance. This would be a demand zone. Impulse opportunities. And fair value gaps too. Want to take note of that. Fair value gap. We're chopping now. Of course, it's Friday, but so when Asian market opens on Sunday at 6, I probably won't get on the charts until like 7:30, because we have an hour left. I'm gonna check and see what happens at 5, but we in a chop because it's the end of the week. Yeah, we in a chop. Price ain't doing nothing. So that's it for I went to my minute anyways. Minute we going down, but still in a chop. Okay. Let me do gold real quick. Start from my daily. Looks like we're bullish now. 4 hour. We broke through that resistance. So I'm gonna delete the support. Delete all this. Start new for me. Yeah, we are on a bull run. Gold is more cleaner today. 1 hour bull run. It didn't respect nobody's zone. I mean, never came back to pick anybody up. And we are in a range here. The start of the 1 hour. Resistance. Can't do nothing. I don't even know where support is at. Like, support cannot be that with the wicks. Because then I have to stay here until price breaks here. Is that a minor break of structure? So it went through a minor break of structure. See, that's why I don't like price action on Fridays. Minor break of structure. Minor break of structure is when it's when price clears a swing high or a swing low by a wick. A regular break of structure is when a candle closes above this wick, but no. Even with that, recent demand, but I don't like going in a minor break of structure. This would have been a win, but I personally don't. And it didn't even tap and brush through. The high of that is 971. The low of this is, oh, it did. No, low. 971.5. By 0.5. Yeah, you would have to say, I bet on it and enter. But I would have had my alert set and it would have never set. It would have took off without me. So, yeah, that's it. That's it for gold. It ain't gonna do much in an hour. It could, but it's Friday. So same thing with gold on Asian session. MES is the same thing as MNQ. I just like to check it just because. Same thing, resistance, range. I'll put my resistance here, support there. That is it. That is all. Now this range gave better supply and demand setups. This is your demand zone, price went in there, and then you could have at least shot for a 1. to 1. Say, I just don't like how big this demand zone is, but there, 1 to 1. Oh, no. We have to have a better entry. 1 to 1. Oh, no, by a tick. You would have got out by a tick for a 1 to 1. Closed. High. 95625 and 955 by a couple of ticks. Why I still got YM on my thing, Dow Jones. I don't know why. I don't trade it. I just stare. Platinum. I love me some platinum. As you can see, I've been practicing. Platinum, I use the trend line method. It starts on my 4-hour and 1-hour. So that's how I got caught that. And eventually I'm expecting us to get near this line again to bounce off. But I am only mentally and paper trading platinum, but I'm gonna add them. But their points, it's $50 a point. So the risk that I've been taking is like risking $500 for a 1,500 reward. And so far out of 5 trades, I only lost 1. But I don't want to add another instrument until I reach another goal of mine on these combines and my live account, my funded account, my personal account, not prop firm. But it's looking so good, but I am disciplined. Oh, I see that one went through too. Yeah, I had looked at this one earlier. Awesome! Yay! That's it. Well, that's an extra win. I gotta write this one down. Yeah. But I only take real good setups on platinum. Like I'm not looking at this. I see we're on a bullish, but I don't, for some reason, I'm not comfortable with how that looks. Broke structure there, your demand zone. Oh, that would have been okay. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I just wanted a cleaner video, just staying focused on my top-down analysis and how I look for supply and demand zones. But yeah, stay tuned. I am going to go live eventually. So it's going to be long videos. I might need to learn how to edit. Ain't got to be professional. But yeah, whatever I could do to support my community, whoever my videos or my channel falls to, this is for you. This is for me. This is for me, number one. But I want to do it for everyone that my video shows up on the algorithm. So I'm going to stop there. I am going to check the market at close. Like I said, it's probably only going to be a 3-minute check because it's Friday. Ain't nothing going to happen. So, yeah, until next time, you guys. Bye.